Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Beatings in Space, a SD Gundam G Generation Genesis Let's Play. My name is Umbaglo, and with me once again is...
Megalomaniac. Hello, Internet.
Good day. So, yes, it's been a while since the last time I've recorded, and it's...
The one-year war actually happened and has ended.
Yeah. And honestly, not really a good reason why, but I'm absolutely trying to get back into this because I still love this game.
I mean, we also spent a lot of time doing that Star Trek thing.
Yeah, and a lot of personal matters which kept the two of us from recording for a while.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember what the last episode was, but this one...
It was Gundam episode 3.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because peek behind the curtain, I looked at the last one to see if it was this one.
Yep, so this time we're finally into the second Zeonic Front episode, where we're going to Odessa.
Yeah, Odessa's a big battle that was kind of shown in the original show.
Yeah, not very many of like the really big conflict zones were shown, like they were talked about a lot, but a lot of the major conflict zones were sort of in the background and not really focuses. Like the only real big ones were like at the very end when they were pressing towards Abawaku. Until then, like all the other ones were like background conversations or like we saw snippets of them.
Yeah, and I could be wrong on this, which is why I'm actually kind of looking it up right now. But I think the TV show showed Odessa, but the movies kind of skipped over it.
I could be wrong. That makes sense.
Because it's been a long time since I watched either of them.
Yeah, same here.
But for the record, Odessa is apparently in the Ukraine. I don't know if it exists in real life. I can just look that up real quick.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty sure that while
it is,
there is a lot of fake locations in Gundam, especially the Universal Century. Most of the like focus points were actually real locations.
Yeah. Like New York, I think is apparently supposed to be Seattle. Again, that's another thing it could be. I'm still looking to see if the show or the movies actually covered it.
It actually is like very interesting to me, like on that note, how all the various Gundam shows like flip-flop so heavily even within themselves between locations that are real and locations that are fake. Like
yeah, UC tends to be pretty good about it.
Yeah, but yeah, like even you see, like we just had New York because I guess they just didn't want to name a real city, but now we're going to Odessa, which is an actual place.
Okay, I know. It's okay. New York is New York. It's just haha Japanese.
Yeah.
No, Seattle is where I think the last mission took place. But, another peek behind the curtain. That's kind of near where I live. We're doing okay here.
Yeah, and then there's just like a bunch of the other shows where like there'll be all sorts of like, here's a whole bunch of fake countries, and also we're going to go to this. We're going to have this major battle at an actual landmark.
Yeah.
I think like G Gundam is very funny for that.
Yeah, what's funny is how often Gundam uses the Yana Highlands in South America.
Yeah. That is like...
Because I think that's where Jabra is supposed to be, and then it's also a whole big arc in G Gundam, and it comes up again at the end of Reconquista in G.
Yep.
So I have a theory that like Tomino just really wanted to visit that place, or did.
He just really likes it there.
Yeah.
So yeah, this mission is like basically contemporaneous with the last one, because I think I remember the last mission was also like set while the speech was being given.
I think I want to say the last one was when Garma died.
You know what?
And then
I'm going to just
the speech was given.
I'm just going to pull up my chart.
You're going to look at what we did.
Yeah, I'm going to look at my chart of the missions that we've done. Let's see. We are on the Zeonic Front 2. So the last one was also Gundam 3. Missing Link 1. Yeah, I think you're right, because Cross Dimension 2 and Missing Link 1 were the two halves of the same story.
Yeah.
With Cross Dimension 2 being the guys who found Pixie, and Missing Link being the guys who were like another group who was sent to find the Pixie, but they found a different group instead. So I think you're right. I might actually just have to look at the...
While you guys read text.
No, the MGS 3 was when we killed. Why am I blanking on his name?
Rambaral?
Yeah, Ramba.
Okay, so that's. Oh, so MSG 2 must have been.
Yeah, MSG 2, because I remember like. I absolutely remember multiple missions with the funeral presentation as a major focus.
Yeah, and have we done 8th MS Team?
No.
One yet?
08th MS Team.
It's okay, so it skips the actual first episode of the show.
Yeah, 08th MS Team is actually 2 episodes from here.
Okay.
For the first one.
Because, yeah, the actual first episode of the show, 8th MS Team, happens basically as the Garma speech is, or the Giran speech is going on.
Actually, I think it makes a lot of sense for them to want to skip the first episode, because that's
literally just 2 things.
Yeah, it's a kind of boring mission in space.
Yeah. Wonderful character work in the show. And
absolutely.
Probably my favorite Gundam show, but, well, top 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's not my favorite, but it is absolutely up there. It is very, very, very well done.
Yeah. But, I'm sure we'll wax poetic about that eventually.
Yeah, like I said, it's 2 missions from now in my order, so...
This is more of Zeonic Front.
Yeah.
Detail of a rugged group of Zeon soldiers doing their duty. Not to be confused with, half the Missing Link crew, which is also a rugged group of Zeon soldiers doing their duty.
We have a pretty decent number of those groups represented in this game, because we've also got Igloo.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that might actually just be it. I think it might just be Igloo, Zeonic Front, and half of...
this is way later, but does 0081 cover both sides, or just the Federation?
Ooh, I actually don't know. It covered both in F, didn't it?
No, not 0080. 0081 was the Battlefield Record, the PS3 game.
Yeah. That I actually can't tell you.
0080 probably at the very least follows Bernie a little.
Yes, 0080 would absolutely follow Bernie. So yes, 0080 would count.
Yeah.
And looking at my chart, I'm going to say 0080 probably follows the exact same structure as F.
Yeah.
Because it's only two missions, from the looks of things. And it
so
appeared
probably Camphor and last episode.
Yeah, it's very likely to, which, when you're talking about a strategy game, what else are you going to
right? Because Double 80 is a 6-episode show with 3 major fights in it and a whole lot of character stuff.
Yeah, the way F handles 0080, I think it's nice, but there's one thing that I wish that they actually didn't do. Because in F, the way that it... So, just for clarification, one of the previous G Generation games, the G Generation F, is also structured very similar to this one, with the main difference being, while it has a whole bunch of series that you can play through, once you start one, you're stuck in it until you finish it.
Yeah.
Which...
Also, it's from, 1999, so it basically goes up through Gundam X, and I think the expansion had Turn A.
It had a Turn A mission as a bonus. Although the stuff that they added for the Turn A mission was actually pretty cool because you could get the biplane.
Yes.
But because you were stuck in a series until you were finished it, that meant that there were some of these shows
that were traps.
That were just traps because completing them with just your starting units is probably impossible. And 0080 is one of them, which is a shame. And then there are some which you would think would be, but actually aren't. Like
Endless Waltz.
Endless Waltz is 2 missions as well. And it's super easy because you have all the custom wing units.
Yeah. And can also get them really early, too. So It's way to break the game balance, guys.
Yep. But, there are also some of the other series which are like that. X is... It's a little hard to start, but not too hard.
Yeah.
And some of the units you can get in there, like Gundam Leopard, are just completely ridiculously broken.
Yeah, the difference is Endless Waltz is 2 stages, X is 9.
Yeah, X is pretty
So
long.
you gotta get into Endless Waltz and jump back out.
Yep, you can get in, get yourself a Wing Zero custom and a Heavy Arms, and then bounce, and then you are basically set for the rest of the game. Because one of the things which just completely breaks the balance in G Generation F is that weapons that are multi-hit scale incredibly weirdly, so they are ridiculously more powerful than anything else you could possibly use. And they're usually super cheap. The missiles on Heavy Arms and on Gundam Leopard are 5 yen, and they will deal infinite damage.
Yeah. I mean, granted, with breaking the game, I started playing this with Unicorn, so,
Yeah, gonna be honest here, difficulty is not what these games are for. If you wanted a challenge, or if you wanted a balanced experience, there are basically 2 lines of G Generation games. There's this kind where it's you're just playing through episodes and you're picking which ones you want to choose as you go to them. But there's also another line which is actually just a straight linear story.
The Mono-Eyes games?
The Mono-Eyes games.
Which they sadly have not made in a really long time.
Yeah, the last one was DS? No, not...
Yeah, it was cross-drive on the DS.
Okay, yeah. Because the 3DS had this style one. Mostly, the way the stages were done were different, but it was still this style of game, because it was meant for you to run stages, evolve units, run stages again to farm them up, stuff like that.
Yeah. But also, my girlfriend the other night was watching me play the most recent Super Art Wars, which just came out, and she's like, where's the challenge in this game? I'm like, I don't play this for a challenge. If I want to play a challenging strategy game, I either, there's obviously you can limit yourself in some way by doing this, only stick to GMs or something, or don't level up units past a certain point.
Yeah, and usually some of the modern ones have like EX hard, which does some of those things automatically. Like they either limit or make it impossible for you to do upgrades.
Yeah, Super Aero specifically hasn't had that in a while, but similar in this is just, put in your own personal like restrictions on what you're gonna do, or go play like Fire Emblem.
Yeah,
which I do. But
G-Gen and Super Robot Wars in general are designed to like basically be power fantasies. It's meant for you to play around with your favorite toys.
Yes. Yeah, when I'm playing these, I want to see cool robots blow each other up while looking good. If I want, like, actual... I don't want to dismiss it, but if I want, like, really deep strategy, I will go play Fire Emblem, or... I'm sure there are other games... Oh, what's that one that came out somewhat recently that was, like,
Wargroove?
Is that, the spiritual successor to Advance Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't played that one yet, but I read about it.
But also, like, if I wanted a tough mecha strategy game, I still have the older front missions.
Yeah.
Some of which I still need to beat. Also, one of these days, Dual Gears is going to come out, and I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, the point that I was actually trying to get at earlier...
Sorry, it was tangent about...
That's totally cool.
It's funny, because we're also in an era where, like, there is controversy around game difficulty and how people view it more widely, but...
I am very much into easier difficulties in general, just because I don't have a lot of time. Mm-hmm. And for a lot of times, I just really want to experience the story and what's to offer, and being frustrated because the enemies are bullet sponges or whatever is not cool. But yeah, what I was about to get at is like the two stages that are usually used for 0080 and stuff like this is the attack on the shuttle. So whether I don't know which side you will be on. I think in F you played as the Federation, or did you play as?
I don't remember.
I think actually you played. I think actually you played as the Zeonic guys in F for that mission. And then the second mission is usually surrounding Bernie's duel with Chris. Mm-hmm. And I usually don't like... I don't usually like how it's set up in G-Gen. How that's set up in like Super Robot Wars is usually really good because it makes sense for you to be involved. But what they usually
also,
do
in Super Robot Wars, it has a much, much happier ending.
Usually
which
does.
Usually results in you recruiting both Chris and Bernie.
Yeah. God, I like it when the games do that because I like Bernie so much. He's such a good guy.
Plus, it's UC Gundam, so you can do wacky things like shoving Bernie in, like, Sazabi or something.
So my favorite...
Or Nui Zeal, actually.
My favorite thing with that is in Super Wars Alpha, which is pretty hilarious for the timeline because it has Double Zeta concluding at the exact same time as Abaoaku. Mm-hmm. And then immediately after you finish with that, you go on to do Char's Counterattack.
Yes.
Which also happens at the same time as V Gundam.
And also Gundam Wing.
Yes. But like alternate universe stuff is already silly, so that's a whole other matter.
This is also a game where, like, while all this is going on, Evangelion's happening, Macross is happening.
But the ridiculously compressed timeline in Alpha is incredible as well. Also, I'm just gonna again go on a tangent here and say that one of the things I like about the 3 Alpha games, well technically 4, is that they have Char's Counterattack happen 3 times. And people are constantly surprised that it happens.
Was it 3?
They set up So Char's counterattack is in Alpha, but I don't think they do the colony drop.
No, that's Alpha 2.
But they do the colony drop in 2 and 3.
No, 3, the only actual UC plot is it's all Seed. Like all the UC stuff is all the UC stuff is like Yazan's working with Seed's Earth Alliance and stuff.
But also like the way that they do the colony drop in 2 is great.
Yeah, because he drops Orphan from Brainpower.
Yeah, he's trying to drop Orphan, which is like, that is like a real screw you, because the plot of the end of Brainpowered is that Orphan is trying to leave, and if Orphan leaves, then it's going to suck all the life from Earth, because that's how it gets enough fuel to take off. So then Char, so it's like, it's already like starting to raise, and then Char's like, no, I'm just going to drop you back.
So, minor spoilers for T. But what T does is double Zeta's going on. So you're dealing with Hamon's Neo Zeon. And then the Glemmy Rebellion happens with that. And right after you deal with that, Char shows back up. So now you have Hamon's Neo Zeon and Char's Neo Zeon at the same time.
Awesome.
While you're also trying to deal with all the other crap in the game.
That's great. And then to finally try and finish my original thought, the way G-Gen usually handles the Bernie duel is that they will have your units hanging out outside, dealing with the Zeon fleet, which is sort of mentioned in the background. Because for people who haven't seen 0080,
you should see 0080.
You should see 0080. It's such a good story.
It's also a litmus test to see if you actually have a human soul.
So the crux of the story is there is a semi-secret Federation research base on a neutral colony, and they're developing a new Gundam for Amuro. And like this colony,
not to be confused with the new Gundam for Amuro.
Yeah. And
that's much later.
Yeah. And so the Zeonic forces hear about this and they're like, yo, that colony is supposed to be neutral. We were going to ignore it and leave it alone, but now you guys have made it a target, so we're going to send a fleet over and nuke it. So the idea is that the team that Bernie's part of was sent there to try and destroy the Gundam covertly, so that they don't have to do a big military offensive on it.
Yeah, so they don't have to commit a genocide.
Like a war crime.
War crime, yeah.
And it appears that, like, early on, they try to attack the facility, and it doesn't go very well. So the higher-ups are like, okay, well, our covert operation failed, so we're going to send a fleet to go and nuke this colony. And, like, that's happening in the background of what's going on in the show. And then, like, the reason why Chris and Bernie duel is Bernie's, like, this is his last-ditch effort. He has come to, like, care for the people of this colony and a kid that he has found, that he has grown attached to, and he doesn't want anything bad to happen to them. So he's like, no, I've got to actually do this. I've got to destroy this Gundam so that this fleet doesn't have to come. And what ends up happening is, as he is going into this duel, word arrives that the fleet was intercepted and destroyed, so there no longer is a...
No, it wasn't even destroyed, it was basically caught in customs.
Oh,
that's the worst. That's the even worse part, yeah.
Huh. So, yeah, so it's basically stopped, and so, like, there's no longer a reason for the duel, but it goes on anyway, and it's, yeah, it's real good. So what,
and yeah, we will cover this eventually in this, but at the rate we're going, it'll probably be like 2 years from now.
So when...
Which is to say, it's at like the end of the 1 year war, not that I'm saying we're going to be that slow going forward.
Yeah. It's... Like, I am sad at how far away the second episode of 0080 is, because that's the mission I have to clear in order to get Bernie. And again, Bernie is my favorite character. So
also voiced by David Hayter in the English dub.
Nice. So what ends up happening is in G-Gen, you're usually controlling Bernie as part of the duel, and I think that's actually a bad thing to do. But you're also controlling your units are usually outside of the colony dealing with the fleet. And I think that's actually a pretty good way to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish, I think it would be best for them to not have the duel be playable, just have it be in the background.
Oh, just two AI units beating each other up?
Not even just two AI units being, just not even show it. It's just, it's happening.
Cutscene it?
Yeah, there's no reason for it to be shown.
Yeah.
Because, what's the point?
I think there's and this might just be a bigger thing in Japan than is here, or just might be a bigger thing with other people. But I think there's a greater emphasis in Japan about people really liking the idea of recreating something they've seen. Which has led to, I'm just thinking of all the, not just Gundam, but all the anime games which are, here, play through the plot of the anime for
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's just that makes a lot of, for a one-on-one duel, that makes a lot of sense for an action game.
Yeah, for strategy games.
For something like this, it's just it's a way for you to fail without actually having any real effect on, without actually having much control over what happens. Because it's not if you get some unlucky crits, or if you don't dodge the right number of times, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's not a... in G-Gen especially, there's not enough to do with one unit.
Mm-hmm.
There's, you can use terrain, but that's about it. There's no, Super War style Spirit Command type stuff.
Yeah. The closest that F was able to do on that front is they did have the Santa balloons out.
Yeah.
And I think you could attack them to make them explode.
Yeah, you can lure the Gundam near them and shoot them, and they would explode, deal map damage to it.
Yeah.
Gun tank!
Yep. I think these are some mass-produced gun tanks, if I remember right.
Yeah. Agar! Hint, the cannons on it might be able to take out a Zaku with a single shot.
Yeah, actually, they
probably can't.
No, these ones can't. Your units can take a couple of hits. Not too many, actually, honestly, but enough.
I do remember in the original game, they were really dangerous, because the whole game was about...
Oh, yeah.
Rainbow Six stealthing around the back and shooting them.
Yeah.
I do. I like that. And I don't even think they do games like that anymore, where you Rainbow Six stuff where you'd plan out routes for your AI guys to take.
Yeah, it's not that common.
It's the type of thing I would expect the people who make Arma to do now.
I actually want to say maybe it wasn't them, but there are there's a couple of series of top-down action games which are like that. Breach and Clear is one. And I actually want to say that there is an Arma version. Yeah.
Didn't the old SWAT games used to do that kind of style too?
Yes. I don't. There was. God, the SWAT games were weird because two of them were adventure games. I want to say.
Yeah.
One of them was a commando style top-down strategy game, and then 4 was a first-person shooter.
Yeah, Rainbow Six did it.
Yeah, it was like very Rainbow Six-ish, but I don't think it had the planning aspect.
Yeah. Also, yeah, for people who aren't old, I mean, original Rainbow Six would not like Vegas or Siege.
Yeah, the original game.
Because I'm old.
The original game, you could like it had default plans for each of the missions, but you could control, like, you know, where
guys go,
where each guy goes.
Yeah.
You know, wait at this point until you give a command, stuff like that. And so, like, there are new games that do that sort of thing, but like they're not shooters. They're usually like strategy games. Like there's Frozen Synapse, which is like very much that, but it's a top-down strategy game.
Yeah. Well, I also think now the idea with Rainbow Six, at least the way from what I've seen Siege works, is you're doing that, but the reaching is you telling other players what to do, or what, you know, working with other players to get that same result. To varying effect, depending on, you know, who you're playing with and how well you know them. I feel bad for that one dude in the Zaku one.
Yeah, like they get so many Zaku 2s, and he's just like, well.
And the one dude gets a goof.
Yeah, that guy already had a goof though.
Oh yeah,
because that's one of the guys that they just recruited for this mission.
Yeah, I do know by the end of this game you had like DOMs and stuff.
Yeah. God, like one of these days I should probably go back and see if that game actually holds up. It probably doesn't.
It probably doesn't, but it'd be nice if it did.
It probably controls real terribly. But I remember it being actually pretty good at the time.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked it better than the only other Gundam game that came out prior to that point, I think, was the original Journey Jaburo game.
Oh, yeah, I think
which was one of those, here, play the original Gundam series. It was okay, but, you know, not amazing.
Yeah, I could see that. And then, but then, like, after that, we got Encounters in Space, and I kind of
was a lot better.
I couldn't go back to most other like mecha games of that time because Encounters in Space just controls so well.
Federation versus Zeon.
Yeah.
And then later Gundam versus Zeta Gundam were also different style of games, but those were really good too.
Yeah, I don't think I picked up the first one, but I did absolutely pick up Gundam versus Zeta Gundam. And like, yeah, that game is like super good, but like after playing Encounters in Space for so long, it was hard for me to go to that game because it controls so differently.
Yeah. Did you ever play Climax UC?
I played a little bit of Climax UC, not a whole lot.
It was the one that was similar to Encounters in Space, but
I actually like.
It was broader.
There was a point where I had to stop. Like, I basically couldn't play Encounters. Climax UC anymore because they made one change from Encounters in Space, which was like, no, this is actually like unplayable now because, all right, so in Encounters in Space, when you locked on, your attacks would like slightly track towards the enemy. So like if you were firing single shot weapons, like you would constantly keep pointing towards the enemy and like usually lead them just a little bit, but not a whole lot. So like there'd still be some skill in how you aimed, but broadly speaking, you would lock on, you'd fire. And so if you're using like a multi-shot weapon like a machine gun, if the enemy was moving, you would move and continue to aim towards them. Like sure, most of your shots would miss, but you would still be like aiming at them and trying to fire, and you would hit them with some of your shots. In Climax UC, if you started shooting a rapid fire weapon, you stood stock still and fired forward. So if you locked onto someone and they were moving, which in a lot of those stages they were doing constantly, and you were using a machine gun, you were actually just useless. Which was a shame because there were like a lot of my favorite weapons in Encounters in Space were like the beam machine guns.
Well, yeah, and I remember that game. Going on something we talked about off recording, that game had the F90V.
Yeah. I mean, like,
really
that's the thing that, like, actually made me sad about Climax UC, is that there's so many good stuff in Climax UC.
It did, like, F91 stuff.
Yeah. It was so, like, the series list in Climax UC was so good. I was so bummed that they messed up basic weapons so easy, like, so badly.
Yeah.
Oh well.
And I thought there was a Gundam Seed game like that too.
Yeah, I didn't play it.
Was it Never Ending Tomorrow?
I think you're right.
I actually saw at a game store the other day.
Really?
Yeah, I was like looking at old PS2 games, like, I wonder if they got any of the old Gundam games. And like, Gundam Seed Never Ending Tomorrow. That sure is a game.
Yeah. The main, the main Seed game we ended up like, I would say, hilariously enough, like, the primary Seed game that we ended up getting was Gundam Battle Assault 3 featuring Gundam Seed.
I never played that. I heard it was hilarious though.
Yeah, same. Especially since, like, the most broken unit in the game was a grunt.
Yeah, the
the M1 Astray.
Yeah, one specific pilot's M1 Astray.
Yeah, because it would just it would her melee attack would stun, so you could easily stun lock anyone with it.
I think actually, surprisingly, the best Gundam Seed that came out, and I don't remember if America got this one, but it was the GBA fighting game for Gundam Seed Destiny.
I don't think we did. I don't remember. In fact, I don't even remember seeing that.
It was surprisingly really good.
Nice.
For just this, like, little 2D Street Fighter style fighting game on a Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, that actually sounds like an interesting thing to look into. I might have to.
Yeah, if nothing else, go download your completely legal, 100% legitimate ROM and give it a try on your actual Game Boy Advance.
Oh, I mean, I can just go look up videos of it, I'm sure.
Wink, wink. Or that, yeah, that's probably easier.
Yeah, so
I actually don't even know if ROMs are still easily gettable after Nintendo went nuclear on them.
So the major thing about this stage is, like, not just is there, like, kind of a lot of enemies as you fight your way down, but there are also hidden mines all over the place, and you're not going to know where they are until you are next to them. And if you don't destroy the mine in that same turn, they will explode and deal a fair amount of damage.
It's a surprise!
Yeah. So you really do have to be pretty careful with how you advance. But other than that, like, this stage is just a lot of enemies.
Yes.
Actually,
as befitting a large-scale battle.
Yeah.
It's like those World War II games where it's like, oh, hey, here, time to do Normandy.
It was pretty good that I got the hangar expansion in the previous episode.
Yeah.
Because being able to deploy...
You've got the Semi-Striker.
Yeah. The Semi-Striker is... I mean, it's called Semi, so, like, it's not as good.
Yes. But it's a GM2, so it's better.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, one of those hilarious things of you're using technology that doesn't technically exist. Like a Lotus from Unicorn.
Yeah. But, like, it's funny that is also represented in G-Gen, but it's, like, represented in such a way that it's, like, so silly, because the GM and the GM2 are... So the GM2 is, like, better by, like, 100 HP and 1 point of attack. It's, like, so minor. It's better.
Well, that's really what it was, too.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is basically a GM, just better.
Yeah, it was a refined GM. Like, it was... You know, the next generation.
Gun cannon. I was like gun cannon mass production type too.
Yeah.
It's got that like football helmet.
Yeah. Although one of the things I like about the mass production type is that it doesn't have the rounded shoulders. But like you look at a bunch of the other gun tanks, they still have sorry, not gun tanks, but the gun cannons. They still have the rounded shoulders for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like I was like a year ago or so, I got the gun cannon detector kit, which is a gun cannon from, I think it's in Unicorn, right? But it's a Zeta MSV.
Yeah, it's a Zeta MSV that shows up in Unicorn, much like every other Zeta MSV ever made.
Yeah, pretty much. That's like one of the things that Unicorn is honestly like really known for. Just like having, just like being the place for them to put all these random ass Zeta MSVs.
Both narrative and the Origins seem to do it too.
Oh, nice. But yeah, so the gun cannon detector has it's a gun cannon that's made like 10 years later, and it still has those rounded shoulders. Like, come on, it's hilarious.
Yeah. Though, actually, I guess to be fair, the Origin like created MSVs to use for it too, because like here's like early type Zaku's, but narrative totally used like various GMs and. Like there's a major fight involving the DJ from Zeta.
Nice.
And like, I think there's an Ewax Jagan at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I did manage to see Gundam Narrative in theaters.
Oh, nice.
When it was out. It was definitely a thing you want to see Unicorn first for. It is very much an epilogue to that story involving different characters.
I don't think any of the theaters near me played it, which was a shame. Which is like also really weird because like we've gotten a bunch of these weird like one-off
one night anime films.
Yeah, like I'd have to double check because I even don't know if we got Heaven's Feel 2, but we did get Heaven's Feel 1.
Yeah, I know we had... I didn't go see it, but I know Heaven's Feel 2 played around here. The one that shocked me was, this was a year ago, but Mazinger Z Infinity managed to
yeah,
get around here.
I think I would have had to have gone to Toronto to see that, and I was not willing to do that. Yeah,
I didn't have a car at the time, so I took like a 3-hour bus ride. I was one of like 7 people in the theater, too. It was really amusing. I'm like... Look at all these other people who know what Mazinger is.
We had gotten Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, but we didn't get Broly.
That's super weird because Broly was like when I would see Broly, it was a packed theater.
Yeah, like I don't get
like 100% full. That movie made a lot of money for an anime film. I should mention it's not making like Marvel money, but yeah. I think the next big-ish one to come out is I think the new Code Geass movie is getting theatrical releases.
Oh yeah. One that I like actually kind of would have liked to have gone to see if they were anywhere, if they were like going to be anywhere near me, is that the upcoming Love Live and Bang Dream movies are getting a delayed viewing in North America. And as far as I can tell, I don't know if they have any Canadian showings.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming all the rights are different for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. The company that is doing the delayed viewing has done Canadian shows. But like I just don't know. Yeah. And if they do, it's in Toronto.
Yeah.
So again, I would actually be kind of interested in going to see one of those, but like I'm not going to Toronto. Maybe if it was in Ottawa.
I'd say, how far is Toronto a drive from you? Because I don't know.
It's like 3-ish hours, but also driving through Toronto is a pain.
I imagine it's similar driving through Seattle, where if it's any time other than like super early in the morning or at night, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Actually, geez, 3 hours would be like me going to Portland.
And like, to be fair, a lot of that time is just because, like, once you start to get to Toronto, the highway traffic backs up real bad.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of an annoying, like, honestly, kind of an annoying thing.
It's a big city.
It's a big city. Like, don't get me wrong.
Meanwhile, this guy's going, full murder man.
Yeah.
The only difference between, specifically murdering them and fighting to disable the tanks.
I'm a little surprised that Leroy has not met someone like this before.
I know, because half Xeon people are like this, other half are
it's
murder bros.
It's the dichotomy between the various types of Xeon people you see is hilarious. But like, it's basically about the story that they're trying to show, because
shows what war does to people.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. Like, there's definitely ones where they're trying to be a lot more serious about the effects of war on people, like 0080. But then there's a lot of shows set in the Universal Century, especially the 1 Year War, where hey, this is a story that is focused on Federation characters. So the Federation people are going to be shown as courageous and heroic, and the Zeonic forces are going to be shown as villains. And then there are other ones where the Zeonic forces are the focus, so the Zeonic people are going to be shown as courageous and heroic, and the Federation forces are going to be shown as corrupt and villainous.
And then there's 8th MS team, where the higher-ups are all corrupt and villainous, and the soldiers are just doing their jobs.
Yeah.
No matter which side they're on.
That is actually pretty consistent for stories being told by a Federation perspective, actually.
Spoilers! Politicians are corrupt and villainous.
It's not even just the politicians. Like, it's a lot.
Well, actually, the main one, 8th MS, seems like a higher up general.
Yeah, it's their general.
Which is actually a very my god, I almost said 1 Year War. World War I style mentality, where it was guys in rooms developing ways for humans to better kill each other while soldiers actually died in trenches.
Yeah. Yeah, there is actually, like, legitimately a lot of a lot of early 1 Year War, a lot of early Universal Century stuff is actually very written with a mindset of like the staff behind its, like, memories of war.
Yeah, because Tomino grew up during World War II.
Yeah. So I just want to, like, point out that one thing that this mission does, which is actually, like, really frustrating, and, like, thankfully I managed to deal with it without too much trouble, but, like, you notice that that guy, the who ran off to kill that one guy,
and then stayed there?
And then he stayed there in the middle of all the enemy forces. Thankfully, and also, the worst thing is, he is a mission-critical person. If he gets knocked out, it is a mission failure.
Don't you love it?
Yep.
Also, I guess minor correction, Tomino was born in 1941, so grew up during World War II is a bit much, but definitely his upbringing would have been affected by the aftermath of it.
Yeah. But, like, basically, once I get some forces a little closer and move that guy out of the way, like, the rest of the mission is basically cleanup, because my forces are so much better. Also, the G05, yeah. Also, the G05 is real good.
It is. And while Zeonic Front does eventually show Gundam Unit 6, not this mission.
Yeah, not this mission. We actually have seen an incomplete Unit 6.
Oh yeah, didn't you have one a few stages
Yeah.
ago?
It also shows up as a hidden unit, if I remember correctly, in like an earlier mission.
Yeah, I remember actually being pretty jazzed to see that in the game originally, because I didn't, like, going in, there wasn't, at least that I saw, there wasn't any big advertisement. Hey, here's a new Gundam design. Like, oh, that's cool. It's like a Gundam gun cannon. That's neat.
Yeah, the Mudrock is actually pretty cool. I think it's a pretty neat design.
Yeah. Even if Mudrock's kind of a stupid name.
Yeah. Really, like, the toughest thing about this mission for me ended up being that, like, at this point, with the way I've been, like, acquiring and upgrading units, a lot of my guys don't necessarily have a lot of energy to keep fighting. So it was a lot of like, okay, I'm bouncing out to use this attack. I will probably be able to attack 2 or 3 times, and then I've got to run right back into the ship. And it's like gonna be like, all right, I hope I have enough time to deal with some of these units before I don't have any units left on the field for a turn. But that is G-Gen, pretty much. Like, that's the way that's the way this style of those games is structured. Like, you are meant to be bouncing units in and out of your ship. It's not meant to be like Super Robot Wars, where it's all about like your units
momentum.
Yeah,
your units being
move,
unstoppable.
Yeah, like that's not what the games are designed to be. Which, you know, it's like it's the choice that they make, and it works for them.
I can think of 2 different Super Wars games where I basically soloed the game as much as possible.
Yeah.
With in one case the Garland from Megazone 23, which is basically a motorcycle that kind of turns into a powered armor type thing.
Yep.
And the other time being a Scope Dog, which is a giant robot we could probably feasibly build today.
The Scope Dog is real cool. The
Scope Dog's real cool, but the thing that makes the Scope Dog good is it has essentially God as its pilot.
Yeah. That is a story for another time, but the story behind Chiriko Kube is hilarious. We will find an opportunity to talk about him somewhere else.
Starting our new podcast all about Armored Trooper Votoms. I almost said Mobile Suit Votoms, by the way. I just want to say that.
What was the thing I was about to talk about?
The new G-Gen game?
Man, I'm looking forward to the new G-Gen game. So, a while ago, honestly, like it was in the
Probably
middle of us. Like it was definitely in the middle of us doing recording. We definitely already started recording by the time it was announced, but they announced basically the sequel to Genesis. It's like basically the same type of game. It's just that instead of it being Universal Century, it's going to be a bunch of the alternate universes. It's focusing on Wing, Double O, Seed, and yeah.
Sorry, GX, Turn A, and H fans. H fan.
Like, I am actually bummed that. Well, I don't. Here's the thing: we don't know if they won't be in there, but the.
Well, they're not. I doubt they're basically. I could see those being DLC actually.
The series list is. Yeah, so the series list is like a whole bunch of, like, you know, it's the shows, it's a number of the mangas or the side stories or like OAVs.
Let me look up the actual full list.
So obviously, Seed has like 15 different series that you can play through.
Yes. Trying to find just a list of the series, which, you know.
I will say though that the one that they have said that I'm actually like super happy about is that G Unit is in.
Yes.
Like not just as units, like they're going to do the G Unit story, and
Yeah.
that is so good. That manga is hilarious.
Oh, and much like this one, it is getting a Asia English release.
Yeah.
So ones that have actual story are Wing, G Unit, Endless Waltz, Seed, Astray, X-Astray, Destiny, Stargazer, 00, 00F, the 00 movie, Ironblood Orphans, and Ironblood Orphans Gecko.
Huh. I thought... Okay. I thought that there was something about Battlefield of Pacifists, because I remember seeing that.
That is in the thing, but not as a story.
Okay.
Yeah. Battlefield Pacifists and Glory of the Losers are both in it as just units.
Okay.
Which I hope means that Tallgeese Flugel's in there, because it's basically Tallgeese with like the Angel Wing Zero wings.
Nice.
But yeah, then just unit only stuff. Seed MSV, Astray R, Astray B, Destiny MSV, Destiny Astray, Delta Astray, Frame Astrays, Versus Astray, Destiny Astray R, Destiny Astray B, 00P, 00I, 00V, 00V Senki, 00I 2314, SD Gundam GX, and G Generation Series.
Yeah, so that's
Which,
Tornado Gundam.
original shit. Yeah. I do hope they do the hilarious thing. So, the main Gundam in Ironblood Orphans is called Gundam Barbados.
And there is a Barbados Gundam.
In old G-Gen games, there was an original unit just called Barbatos.
Yep.
I really want both those to be in there.
I'm actually pretty sure that both of them will be in there, because I also think Barbados is in this game, isn't it?
I don't remember. I know Dark History Turn A and what's the other secret unit? Dark History Turn A, Hot Scramble, and G Self Perfect Pack are like the three like secret units.
Yeah,
I think Hot Scramble is just a DLC thing you get for free.
But like,
and you're not using it because that would break the hell out of the game.
Yeah. I got a bunch of those, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave them in my inventory until I like level up to reach units like that, and then I'll start using them.
I mean, to be fair, you don't level up to reach units like Hot Scramble. It's like, here, you want to make the game super easy mode?
But I mean, I can level up units to be close to it.
Yeah. When I was playing, I basically made a Zaku 2 Dulzel type stupid good, because one of my creative characters is a friend of ours who likes Axis.
Yep. Like, you can, if you put enough time into it, do the way that the stats work. If you put enough levels into a unit, they will become very good. You just need to put that time into it, and then you can totally do it. But the thing that's actually really exciting about Crossrays, which is more than just that it's going to be a bunch of the alternate universes. Man, I really wish I could have had X in there, because man, I could see them doing those just as DLC packs. Maybe X Turn A, Age, and kind of to a lesser extent G could all just make 5 mission DLC things. Yeah. Actually, Age could probably be 15, but I also don't think anyone in Japan likes Age enough to put that much effort into it. I don't know, but we'll see. But the thing that's actually really exciting about it is that they've also announced that it's coming to Steam. Yeah, I'm interested to see how getting a hold of the English Steam version will be. Once they've given a release date and some of that information, I am absolutely looking into buying it on Steam. Mm-hmm. And then I will also probably be recording it, because that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so okay, well, that was.
Which also means look forward to another like 300 episodes of us nerding out over Gundam every week.
Oh yeah. So that was this episode, which I guess we didn't talk super much about what was going on, but it was also pretty self-evident.
Odessa.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be like 4 more missions that happen in Odessa.
Yeah, I think I've got a few more.
There's that. Probably should have at some point the link thing. Like the history link where if you click on a certain mission and it's like, oh, hey, other missions link to this somehow.
Yeah.
Like,
I should actually probably show that off.
Odessa
at some point.
Odessa probably does it. Baoku does it.
Mm-hmm. So it's
what's it called? Torrington probably does it because there's a fight. It's a part in 0083 and then also a part in Unicorn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that'll be it for us for this time. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye, everybody.